What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hurt Business Podcast. My name's Ferris Ferrari, and today I'm joined with potentially the future president of Plymouth Memorial Hall,
Hey,
Mr. Valdina himself, finally joining me on the show. How we doing today, brother?
what's going on, brother? I like that already. It's a good start to this one. How you
Dude,
doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm pumped to finally have you on the show. I feel like I've watched you fight so many times now, steal the show so many times now. Most recently last Saturday, big one, dude. How do you feel after that one?
No, I feel stoked, man. It was a good fight. Yeah, it was just everything that we worked on. I got to put on a full display of mixed martial arts finally, instead of just having one avenue of winning. I got to throw the hands finally.
Yeah.
I let people know about those two. I got I got them in the grappling department as well. So this was just a really good showing for me. I'm grateful for it all, and it was an awesome night as you got to see there.
Dude, boy, did I see it. And a lot of people were talking about the power. Does Andrew, can he pop? And then you showed it, dude. That left hand sat him down, and he looked like he didn't know where he was after that one.
That was the Pete Luciani special, man. That was
Oh yeah, shout out
he's my
Pete.
main striking coach these days. We're in Mom's basement right now. If I don't know if I told you already, and I'm accompanied here by Connor Matthews, Aaron Johnson, Joe Poirier over in the corner here, and he's all of our striking coaches, Pete Luciani. So we drill that every single day almost, man. And I shit you not, we really do. We do the motions all the time, and just to see it actually work, outside of just hitting it on a pad or a bag, to see it work at a fucking full house at Cage Titans like that in front of thousands, it was sick. It was unreal.
How does it feel, man? You're basically filling up that arena alone.
Hey, you know what though? I said this to a few different people. I actually don't sell like a crazy amount of tickets. I sell a decent amount. I'm not gonna say I don't, but it's nothing to like bat your eyes at and look at and be like, holy shit, Valdina sold that many. It's really not. And what I take pride in the most is that I don't sell too many tickets, but I still get that place popping. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
and that has to do with the team I'm with, because every single team member that I have, they all have their own huge fan bases, right? And once they see that I'm a Lozon guy and I'm affiliated with their guy that they came with, then they start screaming for me now. And that's one avenue of like the people that are going crazy there. Another one is just the people that I bring with the few tickets I sell, whatever. And then there's also the people that have been coming to Cage Titans, coming to all these shows. I'm coming into consecutive fights like this for Cage Titans, and they remember me and they're entertained by me, which means so much to me, because that just makes me want to keep doing this for the rest of my friggin' time until the wheels fall off. So I'm grateful for all those people that show up. Seriously, it means so much to have all these people come.
Yeah, man. I mean, every time you hit the stages, it's some of the loudest pops that we'll get all night is for you. You hit the stage, and you got the arm up, you're doing this. It's like you built this whole brand. How much thought did you put into this before getting the pro career started?
How much thought did I put into what?
Like all the knickknacks, the logo, the merch, the dancing, all the
Yeah.
celebrations, all the good stuff.
You know what? I think it all kind of flowed naturally into it. Obviously, I think the only thing I really went into MMA with the knacks you're saying is I think I started with the nickname Gladiator, and that's stuck since day one. And then another one was the cartwheel going into the cage. That, and then everything else that comes with me, like going to each fight, doing different certain things with the chest pound, you know, getting riled up in the cage and stuff. I think all this other stuff just happened naturally. It worked for a fight, and I kept it going into the next, and I picked up another thing, and I don't know. I have fun with it. You got to
Yeah.
have fun with it.
People have a fun time with it too, dude. And I think that's an important part of all this as well. Where
Yes,
did the
sir.
nickname come from?
So the Gladiator, it's almost like self-given, but at the same time, it's not. Like I used to run cross country in high school to get ready for my wrestling season, and I had this wrestling teammate that also ran cross country. This kid Ryan Preston, and he used to call us fucking, oh, we're gladiators, bro. We're blah blah blah. Like I'm like, all right, dude, like simmer down one, huh? But then I got to wrestle with him because I did a cross country season, and then I find out he's on the wrestling team too, and I'm like, oh, okay, this kid is a freaking badass, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna stick with that as well, and fucking I think I'm gonna take that from him. So I almost either stole it, self-given, maybe he gave it, who knows? But that's where it came from back in high school.
Dude, it's a fucking perfect nickname. You talked
Yeah, dude,
about
I like it.
it's dope, man. You talked about wrestling in high school. What got you into that?
So this is a sad story here. I used to think I was such a baller in the basketball court, dude, and I got cut from the JV basketball tryouts in high school. I was a little like 5 foot something kid, dude, thinking I could make it big with NBA and shit. And I learned real quick. But it's wrestling coaches. I bet you it's not just at Drake at High where I'm from. I bet you it's at any school where high school coaches are definitely going to poach some people that get cut from different winter sports, and that's what he did for me. This guy, Coach Mike Riley, I'm grateful for him doing this because this led all the way to this, right? Had to happen somewhere. And it started in high school where, he said, hey, I'm sorry, you got cut from the basketball team, but if you ever thought about wrestling, I never did at the time. But one thing that led to another. I fell in love with wrestling so much. That's my one true love, like before, this obviously. And, I'm grateful I went into it for sure.
You
Screw
started,
basketball, dude.
dude. Screw basketball. I feel like everybody at one time or another, they got cut from a team. I got cut from like 6 teams in basketball. I kept coming.
All right, don't try to make me feel good, brother. I bet you're a good baller.
dude. I'm nothing special, man. Yeah, I was one of the bench warmers. You know what I'm saying? I played freshman year. That was kind of my good year. But yeah, dude, I was nothing, man. I wasn't that good. So wrestling in high school, you went on to Bridgewater to wrestle.
Yes,
How was
sir.
that whole collegiate experience like for you?
That was even sicker, man. Like after high school wrestling was over, I was like bawling my eyes out because I didn't know if I was going to do anything like combat sport related after. And then Frank Camisa is the head coach there, and it's one of my hometown friends' fathers or something. Reached out to him, and Frank reached out to me now, and then I met up with him. I loved it. I loved Frank. He really really good coach, solid coach, and wrestling for him, wrestling for the other coaches, wrestling with my teammates at Bridgewater State. That and then seeing the other collegiate teams that we go up against at big tournaments and stuff, and seeing the level of dedication that they all put through. These guys are shredded to the bone, and in these tournaments, just nonstop go go go. The crowd goes absolutely bonkers at these tournaments and stuff. And I was just like, holy shit! All right, I'm stepping my game up, and I'm going to dedicate myself to this sport right now. And I did. I wasn't the best wrestler, in college or anything, but I pride myself in being always like the kid that never backed down. I showed up, I outworked everybody, and that's the parts that I take pride in.
Mm. Do you feel like those things you learned throughout college wrestling and those lessons you just listed, do you think that helped you in this current career that you're trying to chase now in MMA?
For sure, for sure. I learned so much. Wins and losses come. I learned so much from both. Uh, the biggest thing, not to say I lost every single match, right? I had my fair share of winning as well, but one thing I'll never forget is the feeling of loss. Like just that once your season's over, you lost that last regional tournament, and you have to sit out until the next season starts. And I just remember I always took my sport to heart, man. I'd be bawling my eyes out at the end of the seasons, being like, okay, what the fuck just happened? And Frank Camisa would come up to me and say, hey, remember this feeling, remember it for the next season. And I did, and that just put a huge fire in my belly. I worked so hard, and that's the biggest takeaway that I'll always have, is that I gave everything to the sport.
Mhm. You can't teach that, man. Hard work is something that like it's either engraved in you or it's like good luck learning it.
Yeah, through trial and tribulations for sure.
Yeah, dude. So you competed in wrestling all 4 years of college?
Yes, sir.
Nice. And then when did you start fighting amateur?
So my last wrestling season was 2019, and I actually took a fight like maybe like 4 or 5 months after.
Holy shit.
And I had a little bit of a background though in the striking department. Nothing crazy. I didn't, like, looking back now, I would scotch that Valdina. You know what I mean? That kid was a bomb. But I had a Taekwondo black belt that I picked up in high school. So I had some
Nice.
really good snappy kicks. Randy Costa was in at Lowe's on MMA at the time, and he took me under his wing, bringing me to all his workouts that he goes to, showing me how to diet correctly, getting in the marketing department, how to market myself a little bit as well. And, he really sharpened up my striking the best you could in those months leading up to the fight too. So, yeah, it was probably like 4 or 5 months after the wrestling season ended.
And I always love to ask this to fighters. What was your parents' reception to you saying, I'm gonna go fight now. This is what I want to do.
You know what? I always say it depends which parent you ask. You know what I mean? But my dad loved it. My dad was so on board for it. Obviously, everyone's got to deal with their nerves in a certain way. But my mom, she was a wreck. She did not want me doing this at all. She was like, Andrew, if I find out you're going into that ring and he hurts you, I'm going into that cage myself. I'm like, all right, man, simmer down one here, huh?
Yeah,
But no, they both like realized that this is my life now. They know that this is where I find my happiness. I love to grind every day. If I wasn't, I'd be a depressed mess. You know what I mean? So they're happy that I'm pursuing my dreams, and they're all on board for it now. If you go to, you were at cage site. I don't know if you got to see my family at all, but
dude,
they
how
go
could I miss
crazy.
them?
The what?
How could I miss them? They like own the whole section of the arena.
I know they're very selfish with that section too, which I love. They get in there like as soon as they can, But
Dude, I love it. And you jump on the cage on that side and just celebrate it. It makes for like golden picture opportunities.
yeah, dude, it is crazy. The last weekend was insane.
All right, then you jumped into your first amateur fight, and how'd that go for you, man? How was jumping into under those lights for the first time?
My first amateur fight, dude. Not gonna lie to you. As much as I did love it, it made me fall in love with it. Obviously, I kept pursuing it, but I definitely fought for the wrong reasons. I just wanted to, if I cringe looking at that fight on YouTube. To be honest with you, it's I just wanted to knock this kid out as fast as possible in front of all these people and just look like a badass. You know what I mean? It was just so bad mindset, and I learned from it though. With every win, every loss, like we just said earlier, is that I do learn from them, and as everybody does. And that one I learned heavy. I was like, okay, if I want to pursue this sport, it's got to be for the right reasons. It can't be because I want to look cool. It can't be because I want to, whatever it is. And I learned real quick. I smartened up.
Mm.
But regardless of the bad stuff that happened, I did have fun in there. If you look, I had a smile on my face, going into there and stuff. It is a really fun sport with all the craziness that goes on. So regardless of how it ended up, I did have fun still.
Nice. And clearly you wanted to do it again and again and again. So you jumped into there a second time. What went
Yep.
differently for you that go around?
Yeah, friggin' a quote from the great Mike Rodriguez. He says, "Remember what got you to the dance, and that's wrestling, man." Like I just resorted to my wrestling in that second fight. I wrestled fuck the hell out of Brandon Demora, and I just I just wanted to get a win, man. I just held position over anything else, and my first Emmy win, I'm content with it.
Hell yeah, man. Went to the wrestling fallback option, and then you went on to have a pretty fun amateur career. What was like the highlight for you
Of my Emmy career?
Yeah.
I think there's probably two highlights. One was my third Emmy win, which was a second round knockout over Randy Francis. This kid had 13 fights. I only had 3 fights at the time, and I said I was going to knock him out in the second round, and I did 7 seconds into that second round. So that was really, really cool. And then the other one, even though I lost, was that fight with Arthur Mapofu for the 35 title. Yeah. That's my first fight where I got to taste like going 5 rounds with someone who fought for the belt prior, and he came up short against Jeff Joy, but I knew he was very like a veteran in the Emmy world and very experienced. So that was really cool. I had the most fun in the cage. That was a really cool experience. Those 2 fights for sure.
Nice, dude. I have a question about that win over Randy Francis. You said so going into that second round, coming into it in your brain, you're like, I called it for this round. No, you're not even thinking about it. Okay.
I didn't think of it, but after I was like, oh shit! Like seconds after, I realized what round it was, and I was like, oh my god, I did call it. And then I started screaming. I was like, I called this shit. I didn't think of it going into the second.
Mystic Valdina.
Gee, that's where it started. That was crazy.
All right, and then now, last October was it? You made your pro debut.
Yep.
Against Rob Fuller. How was like that compared to like your amateur debut and those amateur fights? Was it a different reception? Did it feel different for you?
Oh yeah, my pro debut compared to my Emmy debut is night and day. Talent wise, mentality wise, physical looking wise, and stuff. It's really cool to actually witness, like the evolution of how a fighter can go from their first Emmy fight to where they're at now. And it is really a cool full circle moment. Like, if you look at the first Emmy fight where I was smiling all for the crowd, whatever, and my first pro fight against Fuller in October, I'm just man on a mission, friggin' zoned in, ready to go. So yeah, it felt really good. You know, it was good to get the dub. I got the job done, you know, against someone like Fuller, and you know, it rolled right into January.
Yeah, it did, dude. And it rolled into January and then now March, and it just keeps the boat going back to back to back to back
Yep.
cards. Are you jumping on 59 as well?
Oh, time will tell. Time will tell. I'm not sure just yet, man. I want to enjoy some, you know, good drinks, some good food, you
Yeah.
know, enjoy the W with my teammates, everybody that I train with. We all won in the past week or so. So it was really just a great week that I want to just chill out with, enjoy, and not make any moves just yet for when I'm getting back in there.
Hell yeah, dude. I
But
think
as
you
much as I
just
say that, you could also tell me to shut up because I'm probably gonna end up fighting May 27th, dude.
Yeah. Looking at your track record, bro, it feels like you're just running them back to back to back to
Yeah,
back.
who am I fooling here, man?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, huge shout out to the mom's basement, man. You guys are some
Yeah, I'm
you
gonna
guys
do a little pan real quick, dude.
let's do it. Let's get everybody in the
We
mic
got
in the
Aaron
cam.
Johnson,
There's War Baby,
Joe
the
Poirier,
best fight nickname in the game. Joe Poirier, first
Connor
round sub.
Matthews.
Connor
What's
Matthews, my
up?
man, another
Let's
first round
go.
sub. Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir. This is Mom's basement, man. You gotta look at it here.
Where's Pete? That's
Pete's
all.
not here.
Ah, that's the only face we're missing.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's probably for the best if Pete's not here. Not gonna lie, he'd be chirping right now.
Dude,
Actually, he'd probably get some good content if he was here. That's true.
Dude, we chopped it up for like 20 minutes after the Combat Zone event. I told him like I got to get you on the show, man. It was a great time chopping it with him.
Oh my god, that'll be a podcast for the ages, dude. Get him on there.
Only a matter of time, man. It's gonna happen. We talked about basically everything I want to talk about, other than one thing that I read on this Sun Lowell article this afternoon. Color vision test.
Yeah.
What can you tell me a little bit more about that? What's that?
Yeah, man. So I'm colorblind.
Okay.
Basically, when COVID happened, right? So I was still in my MMA career, and I wanted to take another fight. It got canceled. COVID occurred. This is when it first came out. Now everyone's doing their thing. All fights are canceled. You know, people don't even know where to train because everyone's, you know, low key kind of scared of COVID at the time because no one knows what it is. And I needed to figure out what the hell I'm going to do because I'm not one that wants to sit behind a desk. I don't want to be doing that shit. I need to be using, you know, the skills that I know I have and, you know, be content and happy with my life doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if I can't fight, I was like, all right, I might want to go in the military here. So I looked at the Navy, and I didn't want to just do some as much as those jobs are very necessary and very, you know, utilized. I didn't want some regular Navy job. I wanted to go into special warfare, and I trained my ass off for it, man. So damn hard. I basically taught myself how to swim from the ground up, dude, trying to get in there. And I passed everything with flying colors, no pun intended. And then when I get to boot camp, the first week, man, they give me another color vision test, and I fail it like miserably. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? And they're basically saying, okay, well, you failed the color vision test, and that means you're medically disqualified from your special warfare job. And I was devastated. And again, I'm a crybaby, as Connor says, dude. I can bawl my eyes out. I basically, they gave me two options. They said, all right, you can take a job from the list that we're giving you, which I shit you not, man. I hope I can find it because I still have that paper somewhere. It was like a secretary on a submarine, painting the side of a ship, a musician, I shit you not. Or you can persuade, you know, the head guy in charge, senior chief Brackett, whatever his name was, and you know, you can persuade him to let you leave so you can pursue something else. And I said, okay, well, you know what, man, like I think I want to pursue something else here. I don't want to do those jobs and be, you know, have this miserable life here. So I left, and I went right back into Lowe's on MMA. You know, I took my lumps. I got my ass kicked so damn much, and I finally started evolving a little bit with the help of all my teammates and my coaches. And, you know, here we are. I'm so damn happy and grateful I made that decision. That's probably one of the more crucial decisions I made in my life.
Oh yeah, bro. It seems like it turned out very well for you, wouldn't you say?
So far, so good.
So far, so good, man. Yeah, I love to hear it. So 1 to 10, are you seeing no colors? I'm just so curious about this.
Right now, I'm only seeing black and white.
Black and white.
No, I'm
Okay.
just kidding. No, no, no.
You got me.
No,
I
I see
believe
all
you.
the colors, man. I think obviously I don't know for certain how it is, but I'm pretty sure that I just see everything a little bit more duller. Like I think everyone sees things a little bit more vibrant. I see things like I don't know. It's the best way I can put it. I mix colors up a little bit too, like blues and purples, like reds and like I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Orange or something, like the similar colors.
Yeah, like a weird red and an orange that looks similar, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I'm good to
Well,
go. I mean,
yeah,
red corner, blue corner. That's all I need, right?
that vision test might have been the best test you ever failed, right? Coming back into fighting and making a
I
whole
like the way you
career out
think
of
of
it.
it. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, man. All right. Well, I think it's best if we leave off with this. What are your goals for 2023?
Goals for 2023. I definitely want to strike while the iron's hot, but at the same time, I might take some time off. Who knows what I'm going to do next or when the next fight is. But for sure, I don't want to look too far ahead, but I'd love to stay undefeated. I want to have at least 2 more fights this year. And I don't know. I think that's pretty content. Those are my goals. Stay undefeated and 2 more fights.
Oh yeah, I think those are both realistic goals, and maybe you can even, the way Cage Titans is going, they'll probably have 3 or 4 more cards before the end of this year. So you have time if you want to enjoy some drinks, some good food.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna be
Well
doing tonight,
deserved.
right?
Hell yeah, dude. Well, you enjoy it, brother. Thank you so much for the time. To the
Thank you.
basement, y'all have a good time tonight.
Wait, say
And
one more goodbye to all these guys real quick.
good night, everybody. Y'all have fun tonight.
Thank you. Have a good night
Go
too.
hard. Go hard
Thank you,
tonight.
brother. I
Believe me.
appreciate it. Seriously.